The following is a special Wayne Hills Television sports presentation.
Week 8 of the Patriots' schedule has them heading to face off against the undefeated Golden Knights of Old Tappan. This game has been circled on the Patriots' schedule for weeks. With home field advantage throughout the playoffs on the line, can the Patriots come up big in the most important game they have played in years? Wayne Hills, Old Tappan, next.
Let's go, boys.
Welcome to Old Tappan, New Jersey, as the 6-1 Patriots take on the undefeated Golden Knights of Old Tappan. I'm Mike Cantilli, and I'm once again joined by Brandon Stone and Jake Goodman. Guys, let's get right into it. So last week, Wayne Hills beat the Hornets of Passaic Valley 35-14. What were your thoughts on that game, Brandon?
Yeah, it's been a recipe we've seen all season for the Patriots, just total domination from the start. We saw it against Caldwell, we saw that against Cantilli, we saw that last week against the strong Passaic Valley Hornets team, 35-0 at the halftime. The Hornets never really stood a chance in that one.
Jake, what did you see in that game?
Yeah, Wayne Hill's offense looked amazing. They just scored kind of right away, and I think that's a recipe for success. You know, just score right away and have that momentum going into halftime.
So today the Patriots are taking on a very tough Old Tappan team. Brandon, who are your key players for today's game?
I got to go with David Van Hook. He's just had another strong performance last week, adding on to what has been a tremendous season for the junior. He needs to get out in traffic, be able to make tough catches, and just get open in the downfield if they want to win this game. The deep pass will be key to their success against a very strong Old Tappan defense.
All right, Jake, who are your key players?
I mean, for Wayne Hills, it's pretty hard not to take Cherno St. Paul. He's had multiple touchdowns, honestly, in his last two games versus Wayne Valley. And last week we saw him score again in the end zone. And I think this week I'm going to looking at the matchup between Sean George for Wayne Hills versus Zachary McKelly, the quarterback for Old Tappan. If he could use his rushing ability, I think Old Tappan, has pretty good shot of winning this game, but I think Sean George, he's got to contain the quarterback.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with both of you guys. But that about wraps it up on the field for the pregame. Now let's send it to Remy Schultz for this week's edition of Breaking Tackles. Remy, take it away.
Thanks, Mike. Welcome to Week 8 of Breaking Tackles. I'm Remy, and I'm as always pleased to be joined by Troy Demikoff. PV turned into a relatively easy win. What went well?
I thought we came into the game with kind of an anger after what happened at Wayne Valley the week before. We came in, we knew we had something to prove, and PV was a good team coming in. I mean, they only had 2 losses on the season, and they were in a close game with West Essex. So I think our offense just came out and moved the ball really well, and defense obviously pitched the first half shutout, and the 14 points came when our subs were in. So I think we came out as just an angry team like our coaches talked about, and we played well enough to do what we did. And
Big game tonight. Let's cut to the chase. Let's talk about how this team can beat Old Tappan.
I think we're going to have to play really good defense because I feel like the pattern throughout the year is we've played really good on offense. Our run game has got going really well, and our 2 quarterbacks are playing really good football, just throwing the ball for hundreds of yards each game. So I think we're definitely going to have to play well on defense to get some stops tonight because they have some really explosive players on offense. And, we're just really excited to get out there and, prove everybody wrong.
Thanks, Troy. Now let's take a listen on Coach Demikoff's pregame speech.
Listen, we get the ball, we score. And I'm not even you guys on the kickoff return team, block, Bergen Field, one to the house on, we'll do it too. Every time we touch the ball, we score. And you can do that against these kids, trust me. And then it's going to come down to you guys on defense. That's what it's going to come down to. Championship teams finish. When we score, it's 3 and out the next series. Everything you got, relentless for 4 quarters, and we're back, baby. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Those on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back. As we get ready for today's kickoff, we would like to thank our sponsors. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the following. Catalyst Performance and Rehab. Catalyst was created to bridge the gap between rehabilitation and performance training, giving you the most comprehensive approach to your health. Check out our new location in Oakland, New Jersey, Catalyst Loft, offering yoga and Pilates group classes, massage therapy, chirotherapy, and rehab. And The Grove, for all your catering and special event needs, call 973-239-0270. A luxury New Jersey wedding venue for your unique love story. On the biggest day of your life, you'll be focused on each other. We'll be focused on you and only you. And by Alliance Performance, the official performance and recovery sponsor of Wayne Hills football, helping our athletes stay strong, recover fast, and play their best. Alliance Performance, where champions are made. The 6-1 Patriots are taking on the undefeated Golden Knights of Old Tappan here at Northern Valley Regional High School, and this is going to be an extremely tough game for Wayne Hills. They want to prove to the Knights today that they can bark with the big dogs. Brandon, what are your keys for Wayne Hills' success today?
Number one, stopping the run. Northern Valley has one of the top run games in the league, whether it be through the quarterback play, whether it be through the running back play. And the run defense has struggled a lot more than the pass defense this season. Even though both have been strong, defense has got to step it up to a whole nother level tonight against a very, very tough Old Tappan offense.
All right, Jake, what are your keys for success for the Patriots?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't think this is going to be as easy as the most games that the Patriots have played so far this season. This is their toughest opponent, I would say, by far. A very talented team. Northern Valley Old Tappan, we'll be calling them Old Tappan for sure tonight, but they have already beaten a good Rampo team. And I think for Hills, it's all about defense and stopping the run. Usually I say momentum and offense, but I really think this Old Tappan offense is going to be something that Hills hasn't really seen yet, and I want to see how on defense they could really stop them.
I know. What are your keys for success for Hills?
Obviously, we know that the Golden Knights are a very good football team. I think we just have to keep our heads clear. We have a little bit of a chip on our shoulder after the Valley loss. I know that was still a couple weeks ago, but we gotta. They're still upset about that. They've been talking about it all the time. Coach is watching film. They're definitely still mad. They have a little bit of a chip. Hopefully, they can channel that anger and maybe put up some good performances tonight.
So Old Tappan, I believe, won the coin toss and has elected to defer. So I believe Wayne Hills will start on offense and Old Tappan will receive the second half kickoff. And Wayne Hills, they are known for their fast starts, and I think if they want to compete in this game, they have to get off to a fast start because they're going to have their highs and their lows throughout this game. They're going to have points where they could go on a run and they could score 2 touchdowns in a row, but they also are going to have lows where they might turn the ball over or have to punt on 2 straight possessions. So it's really important that they get off to a hot start here.
I mean, Wayne Hills has not played a team that is even remotely as talented to this Old Tappan team. Wayne Valley and West Essex were their strongest opponents, but both of them lost big to this team earlier this season. So it'll be interesting to see how the Patriots offense and defense can attack this Knights.
These parents are ready for a great game from the Patriots. Cherno St. Paul is back to receive the kickoff and get this game underway. Wayne Hills' toughest opponent of the season. It's time for Hills to prove himself. The kick is up and we are underway. St. Paul will receive it from the 5. St. Paul stuttering, not a lot of room, and he's going to be dogpiled and brought down at around the 20-yard line. Now let's take a look at offensive starters for Wayne Hills.
Kyle DiArgenio, the Tunis Die.
Vincent Romano, Tunis Die Elementary.
Mike Fitzsimmons, Pines Lake Elementary.
Ethan Zakarski, Pines Lake Elementary. James Wolf, IHM.
David Van Hook, Tunis Die Elementary.
Evan Tybel, Tunis Die Elementary.
Bryn Veray, Clifton Elementary School 8.
Mona Fall, Tunis Die Elementary.
Cherno St. Paul, APT Elementary.
Evan Rappaport, Tunis Die Elementary.
Chase Canning, APT Elementary.
Anthony Cuccinello, Tunis Die Elementary.
Matthew May, the James Fallon Elementary.
Johnny Krause, Pines Lake Elementary.
He's not going to go anywhere. I believe he's brought down at the line of scrimmage, maybe a little bit behind, and that's going to bring up about 2nd and 12 for the Patriots now.
Ethan Zaharski, obviously an incredible player, having an incredible season for this Wayne Hills Patriots. He seems like he gets at least 5 or 6 yards every play, but right there, he has just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. If this Old Tappan defense plays like that all night, it's going to be a long day for the Patriots.
And I would like to bring up, they obviously had a couple seniors graduate last season. They were kind of expecting a decrease in running this season, but they have just shown out.
So 2nd and long here for the Patriots. Fitzsimmons is back to pass here on 2nd down. He's going to fire for St. Paul, and he's got him. And St. Paul, I believe, is going to be short of that 1st down. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and medium for the Patriots.
Yeah, that pass rush from Old Tappan was coming in hot. Fitzsimmons makes the quick throw to St. Paul, but right there, as Fitzsimmons looked like he's stuttering a little to the huddle, but right there he's able to deliver the pass and set up 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, as we know, last week against PV, Fitzsimmons did not play a single snap in that game. It may have been an injury that was caused the week previous in the Valley game, but here's Fitzsimmons handing it off to Rappaport there, and Rappaport is going to power through, and that's going to bring up 4th and short for the Patriots.
Yeah, I think that story is a little bit scary for Wayne Hills. Usually they rely on the duo of the running backs they have. We've seen Rappaport and Zakarski work really well together, but on that drive, they both netted about only 2 yards. So Wayne Hills might have to throw the ball this game.
Yeah, so not the start the Patriots were looking for. You're known for their hot starts, and they're known for, long touchdowns, big gains. And that we may see very few of that here from the Patriots in this game as Van Hook punts it back, and it's going to be received at the 35-yard line, reversing field. He's past the 45 now. He has a little bit of room on the sideline, and he's still on his feet. He can't be brought down. He's brought down at the 41-yard line. Now let's take a look at defensive starters for Wayne Hills.
Troy Demikoff, School 16, Clifton.
Colin Murray, James Fallon Elementary.
Sean George, APT Elementary.
Silly Vasilopoulos, APT.
Luke Bacchioni, Tunisdale Elementary.
Mona Fall, Tunisdale Elementary.
Anthony Perez, Tunisdale Elementary.
Evan Tybel, Tunisdale Elementary.
David Van Hook, Tunisdale Elementary.
Bryn Veray, Clifton Elementary School 8.
Evan Rappaport, Tunisdale Elementary.
Anthony Cuccinello, Tunisdale Elementary.
I believe there is an injured player down for Wayne Hills. I believe that may be Vasily Vasilopoulos down on the play. Yeah, you hate to see an injury so early in this game. The Patriots have been relatively injury-free this season, and that is Vasilopoulos. Looks like his hand or his arm, as he's going to have to walk off the field.
Yeah, Vasilopoulos has had a tremendous season for the Patriots. He's been flying all over the secondary, and it's a huge loss for these Patriots if he's out of the game for an extended period of time.
So here is Old Tappan now with great field position here on their first possession of the game. Maselli is going to drop back to pass. He's firing one way downfield. He has a man wide open. Touchdown, Old Tappan. Leo Eder with the touchdown.
That was an uncharacteristically deep touchdown that the Patriots just gave up. Normally their secondary has been amazing, including their pass defense. But right there, he looked like there was no one on him. Eder was wide open down the field.
Yeah, that is just a complete change of momentum if Wayne Hills even ever had it, but just terrible defensive letdown.
So the extra point now for the Golden Knights is on the way, and the kick is up, and it is no good, and that is a little bit of a break Wayne Hills is going to catch there on that huge touchdown.
On that play, the corner, I think, sort of gave up after the receiver was wide open. He was sort of standing still, honestly.
Yeah, and Vasilopoulos out of the game right there. That's a major loss for the Patriots. He's one of their top corners, so they got to shift some things around in that secondary, and maybe that hole, maybe some miscommunication. I don't know what it was, but either way, the results are not good for Wayne Hills, and they just need to take a deep breath, think it's still 0-0, and come out as if the last two drives never happened.
Yeah, I'd just like to point out how fast Eder was, getting, to the end zone. It was almost like Maselli was back for at least like 2 or 3 seconds, maybe even less than that, and he already fired, and he had Eder wide open. I mean, that's a fast receiver. That's someone you're really going to have to account for if you're Wayne Hills. So here are the Patriots now. After a quick 3-and-out on their first possession, they will be getting the football back with plenty of time to go here in this first quarter. It's a little bit of a squib there, and it's recovered by Van Hook. David making a man miss, still on his feet, and he is brought down just short of the 35-yard line.
Obviously, the first drive for this offense didn't go perfectly, but James Wolfe, currently in the division, has the highest passer rating, sitting at a 142.5, an insanely impressive one. Mikey Fitzsimmons at third with around 117. Great quarterback room this season.
Yeah, they're set up with much better field position than the last drive, maybe 20 yards ahead than it even got on that last possession.
So here's Wolfe now in at QB. He's had an exceptional season, and he's looking to turn the tide here in this game. So here is Wolfe now under a little bit of pressure. He's going to roll out. Not a lot of time. Escapes a sack, and he's going to throw. Great job by Wolfe avoiding the sack and getting the ball out, but not a great job by the receivers getting open. You know, this Old Tappan defense is going to be a tough team to crack.
Yeah, might have had Varay on a moment towards the bottom of your screen, but just no room for Wolfe to get it in there. He was already being chased by multiple defenders at that point. It's incredible he was able to break out of that sack and even get it to 2nd and 10 because he looked doomed from the start.
Yeah, Mike said it best. This is a hard team to crack. I mean, we think that's a good play for Hills, avoiding that sack, but that just shows how good Old Tappan's defense is. A good play for Hills is a gain of 0 yards.
So here is Wolfe now. The handoff to Zaharski, and he just stumbles down behind the line of scrimmage. That is very uncharacteristic of this Wayne Hills offense.
Yeah, and I think that huge touchdown there from Old Tappan already lowered just this whole team's morale. I mean, they just all look down right now. In a game like this, you got to come in thinking you're going to win, because that is what gives you the ability to, even if your team on paper isn't as good as the other team, maybe you're not as big as them, maybe your record isn't as good, but at the end of the day, they need to have a positive mentality if they want a chance in this game.
So 3rd and 15 now for the Patriots. A long way to go for that first down marker. Wolfe and Zaharski are both in the backfield. Wolfe dropping back to pass. He's going to be hit as he throws it, and it is nearly intercepted by Eder, but it's going to be an incomplete pass, and Wayne Hills will be forced to punt again.
Yeah, it might have been nearly picked off, but I do not mind that throw at all. In this game, you need every single possession you get. And even though it's 3rd and 15, you got to take the deep shot. Maybe you risk the interception, but if you're going 3-and-out every drive, you're going to lose by a lot of points.
Yeah, and I know this game just started, but to me what this looks like is Wayne Hills just hasn't played a team that is of this caliber yet, and we're really seeing it in what has only been the first 2 offensive drives for Wayne Hills.
So Van Hook with a very decent punt, and the fair catch is made but then dropped. But Old Tappan will remain with possession here.
Yeah, Vasilopoulos is still being tended to the sideline. He doesn't look like he's coming back in the game anytime soon. So this Wayne Hills secondary will need to come up with a plan to fill in positions and get a slot without him.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of this Old Tappan offense. I mean, what we saw from that one play was, pretty amazing. It may have been a busted coverage, but still, that was a great job by Eder getting open, and a great ball delivered by Maselli. I mean, this Old Tappan offense is the vocal point of their team. Their run game is actually the vocal point of their offense, so it's a little surprising to see them get such a great and open look on their pass game. So here's Maselli after the touchdown pass thrown to Eder. Maselli, the pass. He's got a man in the flat, and he is pushed out of bounds after a gain of 4.
This Old Tappan team last week held off Northern Highlands 14-7. Very close game. They definitely need to work on their offense, only scoring 14 points. Today, they already have 7. It looks to be working off for them so far.
It might be a bit unfair to characterize Old Tappan as needing to work on their offense. Northern Highlands has one of the top defenses in the state of New Jersey.
So the handoff on 2nd down, and that is just what Old Tappan's run game will do, just powering through the entire defensive line and secondary for Hills, and then picking up the first down is Devin Radoan, and he's going to be one of the main problems that Wayne Hills is going to have to deal with on defense.
Vasily Vasilopoulos seems to have his sling on. I don't think he's going to give it back in this game.
So here is another handoff to Radone, and he is brought down after a gain of 2. Great job by the Wayne Hills defensive line there.
This goes without saying, but they need more of plays like that. Just short gains, maybe 1 or 2 yards. If they can string a few of those together, they can get the ball back and maybe put something down the field. But if they can't take away the deep option, they're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, Wayne Hills defense needs to prove that they can stop this offense as another handoff to Radone, and he is brought down at the line of scrimmage. Great job by the line there.
Yeah, that's just a great play there for Wayne Hills. You know, we know Old Tappan's going to be trying to kind of assault Wayne Hills on the ground. But at the end of the day, if we could hold them to 1 yard or 2 yard gains, I mean, we may be getting the ball back here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Old Tappan attacks this 3rd and long situation. It's the first 3rd down of the game, as there will likely be a passing down for the Knights.
Yeah, so a big play coming up for the Wayne Hills defense here. Trying to get the ball back and avoid Old Tappan going up 2 scores potentially here on this drive. Maselli fakes the handoff. He's a quick throw, and he's got a man. That's Shane Small, who is, I believe, picking up the first down there.
Yeah, penalty marker down right here, as this one might be coming back.
I believe there may have been a holding there against the offense. Yeah, it is holding. And Wayne Hills gets a little bit of a break there. And I believe that's a 10-yard penalty that's going to, or it's actually a 5-yard penalty that's going to back up Old Tappan all the way now, 3rd and 11. So a lot more room to make up for the Golden Knights here.
Yeah,
Wayne Hills defense trying to hold the line, stay in this game. Maselli now taking the snap, dropping back to pass. A little bit of time. He's going to fire to the sideline. He's already got Eder open, and Eder's going to pick up the first down.
Yeah, Eder is just fast, man. He comes quick off the line of scrimmage, and it's very difficult for this Patriots offense to play him. If you press him, he'll run past you. If you play zone, he'll curve around you. They got to find a way to stop this man.
It seems like just easy yardage today for Old Tappan. Guys wide open, running lanes wide open. Wayne Hills has got to find a way to make it a lot harder to get this ball.
Yeah, I agree, man.
So here is Maselli now. He's throwing another pass, and he is spreading the ball pretty evenly here. That is Nicolo on the catch.
Yeah, I think the referees may have missed holding there by Old Tappan. I don't know if I'm the only one who saw that, but we have some upset parents here in the stands with no call there. And I'd also like to note, with Vasily most likely out probably for the game, we're going to see more of Chase Canning at defensive back, and we may even see him on offense.
So here is the handoff to Radone, and Radone has a little bit of a hole there, and he takes a big hit, but not before, I believe, picking up the first down. He may be just short. Nope, they are moving the chains, and that is another first down for the Golden Knights.
What Wayne Hills has done against other teams, as mentioned, Caldwell, Passaic Valley, Kennedy, is now being done onto them by this Old Tappan offense. They're unstoppable right now, and that's putting it lightly.
Yeah, Maselli seems to be spreading the ball pretty evenly. I mean, he has thrown to Eder twice, as he's back to pass again, and he's got Shane Small. Small has some room on the sideline, and he is into the end zone, and Old Tappan strikes again, making this a 12-0 ball game.
Yeah, that's 2 straight possessions where Wayne Hill is just not really able to put up any defense against this Old Tappan team. They did hold him to about 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12 earlier on the drive, but after that conversion, it was smooth sailing for these Old Tappan Knights.
So here's the extra point coming after the missed extra point on the last TD for Old Tappan. The extra point is up, and it is good, and he finally gets that one to go through, and it's a 13-0 ball game here for the Golden Knights.
Well, it'll likely be Mike Fitzsimmons back out there to try and change something for the Patriots, and they still don't have a first down in this game. They have a completion to Cherno St. Paul, but other than that, their offense has struggled.
Yeah, on that, Mr. Stone, the offense has really struggled for Wayne Hills, and I'm not too confident in their defense right now. You know, I kind of say this every game whenever Wayne Hills is down, but on offense, they really got to pick up some momentum here. They got to convert first downs. They got to at least get it onto the opposite side of the 50-yard line here, and, you know, this is the type of drive where if you don't score, I mean, it's looking really bleak this early.
Yeah, I mean, Wayne Hills is usually the one holding teams to no first downs in the first quarter. Wayne Hills does not want to be the team that doesn't get a first down here in this first quarter. I mean, they still have a lot of time, 4 minutes to go here in the first. Plenty of time for them to get a good drive going, but with the way their offenses look so far, it's looking very unlikely here.
Yeah, this is already Wayne Hill's largest deficit of the year in any game, and it's only the first quarter.
So the kick is back, and St. Paul will return it from around the 10. St. Paul has a little bit of room. He breaks a tackle and gets past the 30-yard line. Wayne Hills with decent field position to start this possession.
Yeah, they might try to throw it downfield just to get something going right here, because these run game and the short passage, which last week worked to perfection for the Patriots, Passaic Valley had no defense against that. It's just not working. These screen passes bottled up. The runs tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Something's got to change for Wayne Hills, whether that be in the play calling department or on the field.
So here's Fitzsimmons back on the field. Rough first possession for him, but he is back now, and he's looking to shake some things up here. Zakarski also back on the field. Fitzsimmons back to pass. He's firing. He's got David Van Hook. He has some room, and he gets past midfield. That's a great pickup for the Patriots.
There we go. Van Hook making his first catch of the game, and that's more what we've seen out of Wayne Hill's offense this season. Quick passes that allow the players to scamper down the field and show their speed, and now they've got it at about midfield.
So midfield here, Fitzsimmons, quick pass. He's got, I believe, Van Hook again, and he's going to pick up a gain of about 5 there.
You know, when you target David Van Hook, you're in good hands. Like I said, we call him DVH.
I think that might just be his initials, Jake. I don't know if that's much of a nickname.
I just like to point something out here. I mean, I don't know if I'm seeing this wrong, but it doesn't seem like Fitzsimmons is dropping back very far on these passes. It almost looks like he's staying stationary. I don't know if that's an issue with his leg or his ankle, but he was doing that earlier in the season. It may be an injury. I'm not sure. He's getting the ball out pretty well, though. Another pass. He's going to scramble. That leg looks a little fine, and he fires for Varay. A little bit short there. It's going to bring up 3rd and short for the Patriots.
Yeah, Varay had a bit of an opening right there, but that's a very tough pass. It's very difficult to put that in the receiver's hand, and it's just a little low. Fitzsimmons was on the run, maybe struggling with a little bit of an injury, so it's understandable that he failed to make that completion.
So just under 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter. A big 3rd down coming up for Wayne Hills. This potentially could be 4-down territory. I mean, they're too far for a field goal, and you're kind of in that awkward range where a punt, you know, isn't the best option here. And they obviously need points on the board here. They have some momentum going a little bit here. They picked up a first down. They're moving the ball a little bit. This could potentially be 1st down territory, and that is not what you needed. As Wayne Hills jumps off sides, and that's going to back them up at least 5 yards there. So that's going to back Wayne Hills up now. So instead of it being 3rd and 3 and very manageable for them to get the first down, it's 3rd and 8. And now their option is pretty much only to pass here. So here's Fitzsimmons now. He's back to pass. Scrambling out, avoiding pressure. Fitzsimmons nowhere to go. He's just going to fire. St. Paul goes up for like a basketball player, but is unable to come down with the ball. It's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, it looked like both Cherno St. Paul and David Van Hook went for the same ball there. Obviously, we don't know who the target was for that pass. But in a one-on-one situation, I think I'd prefer Cherno St. Paul just for the height advantage to go for that one. I wonder if David Van Hook wasn't there, if he would have secured that, or if that throw was too high for him.
I mean, it wasn't a perfect throw, and it was in traffic, so it's a very difficult catch to make. But now they have to punt it away, and Old Tappan will get yet another chance to score.
So here's Van Hook booting it back to the Golden Knights, and there's Eder, who is nearly wrapped up, but he stays on his feet, and he's making men miss. He's still on his feet, and he's going to be brought down just past the 20, almost at the 25 there.
Yeah, Eder's got a scary combination of speed, ability to break tackles, agility. This is Wayne Hill's biggest issue to deal with right now, and so far they have not found a solution.
So Old Tappan is backed up quite considerably here. They have decent field position, but this is going to be the longest they're going to have to go if they want to get their third touchdown of the game already. So here is the Golden Knights from about the 24-yard line. 2.5 minutes here to play in this first quarter. Maselli and Redan back in the backfield. Maselli, the pass, it's tipped, and that is a great job by the D-line by getting that tip on the ball.
Yeah, that was a great defensive play by Wayne Hills, and they've struggled to stop anything from Old Tappan, so that is a positive sign right there. But the situation, even though it's only the first quarter, is bordering on the line of dire. I mean, it is a 2-score game. Old Tappan has the ball. Old Tappan will get the ball at halftime. Something's got to change. It's got to change fast for this Wayne Hills offense and defense.
So here's Maselli now after the tip ball. He's going to hand off to Redan. Redan has the sideline reversing field, and he's going to get, I think, about 5 or 6 there and make this third down a little bit more manageable for Old Tappan.
Yeah, so another third down situation for Old Tappan, a very short third down. You know, we talked about this run game coming into tonight, but they've mainly passed the ball. Here's a run.
Another handoff to Redan, and he is going to pick up that first down and a little bit more.
I mean, stopping that 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 is not a high percentage play for the defense, but they rolled again 10, 11 yards on that play as this Old Tappan offense continues to roll.
So here is Old Tappan now after the first down pickup. Time ticking down here in this first quarter as we are under 2 minutes now. Maselli is going to hand it off again to Redan, and Redan picks up another 5 yards there.
Yeah, just 5, 6 yard gains combined with the ability to throw the deep pass. That's something we normally see out of Wayne Hills Patriots, you know what I'm saying? They'll run it to Harsky maybe run to Rappaport, and then throw a deep pass to Van Hook or St. Paul. This time, Old Tappan is using it. And at the crux of that is Leo Eder, the junior.
So here is a 2nd and 5 now for Old Tappan. Maselli in the backfield, along with Dutois. Motion at the line. Maselli back to pass. He's got Shane Small, and he stays on his feet. The big man is inside the 20-yard line. A huge pickup for the Golden Knights.
Yeah, I mean, Shane Small just looks like an absolute animal right now. I mean, he's just like mossing defenders, getting open. He's got everything you want in a wide receiver. Reminds me a little bit of a Mike Evans.
Yeah, Braden Verrey went in on that play. He went in with a big hit. Somehow this guy just stays on his feet and really just gets a huge play for Northern.
So this may be the last play of the first quarter for the Golden Knights. And the handoff to Redan, and he stays on his feet and breaks through the line and picks up a gain of about 5 there.
Yeah, as the first quarter ticks down, maybe they'll run one or two more plays, but it's just not been good for this Patriots, to put it lightly. I mean, Old Tappan in total control. Wayne Hills looking for some signs of life on both offense and defense, because right now it has been total and utter domination.
So the story of this first quarter has been Old Tappan, as they seem to be writing the entire book here. I mean, they have been unstoppable on offense. And Wayne Hills, they have shown some bright spots on offense, but just not enough to really, make them stand out and make them, feel like they're in this game. It's going to be a very long game for Wayne Hills if they can't move the ball downfield.
Yeah, the score reached 13-0. And the game is not completely out of reach. Even if they give up a touchdown here, 3 scores, it's not likely, but it's been done. But they just got to shift something. They had a few open looks to St. Paul, a few open looks to David Van Hook earlier, and they've got to exploit those. If they can exploit those, then they might be able to put some offense together, string some drives, get something on the board. Meanwhile, on defense, Leo Eder has been doing whatever he wants tonight without much defense from the Patriots. They need to find a way to get him down. Maybe they put 2 guys on him. Maybe they send a safety to cover him. I'm not sure. But either way, these are the things that's going to need to change in the second, third, and fourth quarter if Wayne Hills wants to get even claw back in this game.
So the first quarter was only 12 minutes, but I'm sure for the Patriots it felt a little bit longer than that, as their offensive possessions only lasted around a minute, at most maybe even 3 minutes. That's not the typical Wayne Hills we usually see, as Old Tappan is now knocking on the door trying to get their 3rd TD of the game. So Masili and Radoin in the backfield now. So many weapons at receivers for Old Tappan, as Masili's back to pass. He's got Eder in the back of the end zone, a leaping catch, but it is broken up by Veray there. Great play by the Hills defense.
Yeah, Braden Veray is an incredible player. He can play receiver and he can play corner, and this senior has just made his impact on Wayne Hills this year and in the past.
I mean, for most teams, that throw seems risky, but it's really not that ridiculous for Old Tappan. Being up 13-0, I kind of like that shot into the end zone, considering, I mean, on third down is a little questionable, but.
So here's third down now. Masili, the handoff to Radoin. Radoin a hole, staying on his feet, and he's going to pick up the first down, and it's going to be 1st and goal here for the Golden Knights, and they're going hurry up here. They're just going to try and pound this in with Radoin, I believe.
Yeah, just more of the same for MVOT.
And Radoin is into the end zone, and Old Tappan gets their 3rd score of the game. They now lead 19-0.
Yeah, this Old Tappan offense has just been doing what they do all season, and that is scoring the ball. They can do it in the air. They can do it on the ground. No matter what, they seem to always be able to get the ball into the end zone. The Northern Highlands defense put up a good fight, but they weren't able to stop them. Ramapo put up a good fight, but they weren't able to stop him. And now, looks like Wayne Hills struggling to put up a fight.
I mean, yeah, we're running out of highlighter here, checking down all these players who've been scoring touchdowns. They're really getting everyone involved tonight, and that's just what makes a great football team.
It's the extra point now here for Old Tappan. They're 1 for 2 on these attempts, and it is green. And it is now 20-0 now. Old Tappan leading the way.
So if you're the Wayne Hills Patriots, there's not a whole lot of things you can do here. You've just got to hope that this Old Tappan defense cracks, because on offense they've been unproductive. On defense they've been like Swiss cheese. And they've put up a good effort, but this Old Tappan offense is just too strong. They're too fast. These Wayne Hills has looked really strong and fast compared to other teams this season. But against Old Tappan, they can't stand a chance.
This Old Tappan quarterback this season has 17 touchdowns, 1 interception prior to this game. He has been accurate and explosive. I can see why they are up like this so far.
Yeah, so far in this game, Masili is going to make that 19 touchdowns and 1 interception, as Wayne Hills will get the ball back with plenty of time here to go in this first half. plenty of time to put their name on the scorecard. As here is St. Paul. Now taking it back from the 5. St. Paul, pretty big hole there, stays on his feet, and he's past the 30, and that's a great return for Cherno St. Paul.
Yeah, Cherno St. Paul's kickoff returns have been one of the few bright spots for this Patriot offense tonight. He's gotten the ball to the 30 or 35, maybe 3 or 4 times. But the fact that there's been this many kickoffs in the first place, just 1 minute into the second quarter, says a lot too.
This head coach for Old Tappan, Brian Dunn, has been ultra successful so far this season. He's been wonderful for the team.
So here's Hills now. Wolf will check back into the game at quarterback. Zaharski in motion. The check down to Zakarski. Zakarski a little bit of room. Breaks a tackle, and he's brought down, I believe, just short or maybe just got the first down. Great pickup for the Patriots there.
Yeah, I got to give credit where credit's due. Like Owen said, Old Tappan's coaching is really good. And Brian Dunn, I mean, that's just a Hall of Fame coaching name right there.
So here's Wolf now, handing it back up to Zakarski, but he is met at the line of scrimmage, going absolutely nowhere, bringing up a 3rd and about 5 for the Patriots.
Okay, third and short right now for the Wayne Hills Patriots. Normally, this is a play they pick up in their sleep, but against this Old Tappan defense, nothing is certain. And right now, they need a big play right here. And yet another critical 3rd down. And even though they're in their own territory, you got to wonder if it is 4th down territory based on how this game has gone so far.
So here is Wolf now. The quick pass to Van Hook. A great block by DiArgenio. And Van Hook picks up a considerable gain there, moving the chains for the Patriots.
This is more what we've seen out of this Wayne Hills offense. These short passes where they can get some yardage after the catch. If they can string a few of these together, they might be able to make it to the end zone this drive. And while they need a lot more of this if they want to make this a competitive game, it's definitely a bright side.
So here's Wolf now. Quick pass to Zaharski. Zaharski a little bit of running room. Zaharski still on his feet and stays in bounds. He's going to pick up a gain of about 6 there.
Yeah, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It is one of the few plays that has worked this way for the Patriots tonight. And so they have run it 3 or 4 times in a row, but you got to wonder if we'll see it again on this next play, or they'll change it up.
Patriots going fast here, trying to catch them off guard. Zakarski again. And he is going to go nowhere. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short for the Patriots.
Yeah.
I lied. That is a 1st down for the Patriots, and they continue to move the chains here on this possession. Wayne Hills is trying to at least make this game interesting.
Yeah, Ethan Zaharski, he struggled to get going in the first quarter, but the last few plays, he's starting to put something together. If they can get this running back going, this incredible sophomore who has been a key part of their offense this season, it'll definitely bring a new element to this team.
Yeah, Chase Canning, number 14, coming into the game. He's going to be playing wide receiver. I mean, he's just an excellent route runner, so we may see him get involved here. Dude's a beast.
Yeah, so here are the Patriots now. Finally some momentum. This is the best their offense has looked all game. And I believe the Patriots are going to take a timeout, and they're going to want to look some things over here to make sure they get a sure shot score here to make this at least a 2-score ball game.
So this drive is showing some promise for the Patriots. This is the most 1st downs they've had in any drive, the most offense they've had in any drive, the most yards they've had in any drive. And it's mainly been fueled by these short passes, typically to Zaharski. Ethan Zaharski, as I just said, one of the best running backs in Northern Jersey right now. So they're trying to get him going. This brings an element to their offense. And they just got to take it one game at a time. One drive at a time. Sure, it's 20-0. But if they score a touchdown here, it's 20-7. And that's a much more respectable score. A score they can build off of. Maybe they can get back in this game. But right now, they just need to focus on getting the ball in the end zone, as they've done so well all season.
So here are the Patriots now. The underdogs coming into this game. Here is Wolf, the handoff to Zaharski. Zaharski powering through. And he's going to pick up a gain of about 4 or 5 there. And a great pickup for Zaharski. I'd just like to point out that Wayne Hills is not only playing to win, but they're also just playing to prove themselves. They're playing to prove that when it comes to the postseason, that they can be a team to try and stop Old Tappan here. I mean, Old Tappan looks like just the leader in North Jersey right now, at least for Group 3. But the Patriots are trying to put their names up there with Old Tappan. As Zakarski in motion, the pass, it's a little dangerous there. Almost a hospital ball. And it's going to bring up third and medium for the Patriots.
Yeah, maybe a good thing for both Wolf and Zaharski that throw was a little off because he looked like he was going to get blown up on that play. But now it's 3rd and 10, and even though it would be a very long like 3rd and 7, and even though it might be a very long 4th down, you got to imagine this would be 4-down territory at this stage of the game.
Caldwell, the opponent 3 weeks ago, just beat Milburn 42-6, making this Patriots schedule look a little bit harder and giving them some recognition here.
So here are the Patriots, and they're going to use another timeout here. Just want to look things over and I guess make sure they get the first down here.
Yeah, but they're burning these timeouts like it's fuel in the deep, dark winter. Look, they get 3 timeouts a half, and they've used 2 of them. And I get that they want to get the plays right, but you got to wonder if they'll come back to haunt them at the end of the half.
Yeah, like Stone said, I mean, we're just at the end of fall, but it feels like the deep, dark winter. I mean, I'm going to quote that for years to come.
So here are the Patriots now, a crucial 3rd down coming up. I have to imagine this is 4-down territory. I know May's got the leg, but you really need points in the touchdowns right now, in the 6s and the 7s. So here is Wolf, and a flag that may be on Old Tappan there. And that is against Old Tappan, and they are offsides, and that is going to make this a much more manageable 3rd down for the Patriots. 3rd and 1. Only 1 yard to gain to move these chains.
Yeah, it looked like Wolf was dropping back on that play, but now we'll see if they continue to go with the pass or they'll go with the quick run, maybe to Zaharski. Maybe they'll try some QB sneak action.
So here are the Patriots now. Wolf and Zaharski in the backfield. Wolf, the handoff to Zaharski. Zaharski powering through, and he's going to pick up the first down and some change. And moving the chains now for the Patriots.
Yeah, so now they're approaching the red zone. Wayne Hills is finally starting to put a drive together. And, you know, their offense looks somewhat respectable. If they came out here on the first drive and did this, they might feel a lot more confident going this one. But right now, it is still 20-0, and they're still yet to prove themselves.
So here is Wolf now. Rappaport and Zaharski both in the backfield with him. Wolf, the handoff to Rappaport, and he is bottled up, but not after picking up a gain of about 3 or 4 there.
Yeah, Wayne Hills has loved that misdirection play all year because they have the options between Zaharski and Rappaport and maybe even Van Hook from time to time. So they've got a lot of things they can try and a lot of things in their bag of tricks. And they're definitely going to start to dip into those more as the standard running and standard slant plays become more and more stringent and hard to get yards in this one.
So here's Wolf now, 2nd and about 6. And Zakarski actually takes the snap. Wolf rolling out. He's got Kyle DiArgenio. He's into the end zone. Wayne Hill strikes back. It's 20-6, and they are not dead yet.
Yeah, this Wayne Hills team isn't going to go down without a fight. It's their first score of the game, but they've known to get on a hot streak at times on both offense and defense. If they can put a few more of those drives together, it could be a very competitive football game right here in Northern New Jersey.
Never lost hope in this Wayne Hills football team. It might be 20-7, but they're back.
So here is the extra point now for May to make this a 20-7 ball game. The extra point is up, and it is good. 20-7 now, 7 minutes here to go in the first half.
With that touchdown, it brings up a lot of talk about playoff implications of this game. Last season, Old Tappan did win the full division. Wayne Hills lost first game so far. Obviously that is only one touchdown, but with a little bit of momentum, hopefully this could be maybe a long streak and Wayne Hills could prove themselves.
So now the defense is going to go back out there, and they have shown nothing so far for this team. But they need to play some complementary football tonight. That means the offense supports the defense supports the offense. The offense scores, now the defense has to back them up. And the defense has to have a terrific next few drives if they want to play off the momentum that just happened. You know, Jake and I talked about momentum a lot in that game against Wayne Valley, and it indeed proved to be a powerful force that night.
All right, so here are the Patriots now giving the ball back to the Golden Knights. And this could be a big momentum shift right here. If their defense can get a stop and their offense getting the ball back before half, this could be a huge momentum shift for the Patriots. As it's a little bit of squib, and I believe that's Eder who's going to take it back. Eder trying to reverse field, but he is wrapped up just short of the 30-yard line.
There's Carter Jones. He's got a lot more playing time in this last few weeks. And right there, he shows a big impact right there because he's been one of the few people that have been able to get Leo Eder to the ground.
I mean, Carter Jones, he may not be the biggest guy in the field, but he brings the energy. He's a great guy in the classroom, and that's just something I love about Mr. Jones.
Yeah, we all love Carter, but here is the Old Tappan offense now. Masili has looked fantastic tonight on the pass, along with Radowan, who has just looked unbelievable on the run game. We knew this was going to be one of their vocal points of their offense, as that's Masili, I believe, trying to run for it, and he's not going to go anywhere. It's going to bring up 2nd and long.
So right there, they're able to stop the run. Now this is a great sign. They've really struggled to stop the run in this game, so if they can do that again, then it's looking a lot better for these Patriot team as the Wayne Hills supporters are getting louder and louder.
So 2nd and 9 coming up. Old Tappan tried to use a little bit of trickery there. Radowan took the snap. He handed it off to Masili, and then Masili tried to run for it, but he didn't go much. Masili back to pass now. Masili facing pressure. Masili is reversing field. Masili still on his feet, and he's brought out of bounds just after getting the first down there.
I mean, like I mentioned earlier, this quarterback, Masili, can really run the ball effectively for Old Tappan. And if we look back to his last 3 games, in the last game he played, only 12 rushing yards. The offense only put up, I believe, 14 points. Before that, he put around 75 rushing yards in back-to-back games, and they put up more points. So I think this Old Tappan offense tends to click when he runs the ball effectively.
So here is Old Tappan now, picking up the first down. Wayne Hills defense trying to do everything in their power to get a stop here. Wayne Hills student section going crazy. There's a flag down. It's a false start against the offense, and that's going to back Old Tappan up to a 1st and 15.
This is what Wayne Hills need if they want to get back in this game. You know, maybe catch a break right there, but every single yard counts in their quest to make themselves relevant in this one.
So that may be the break Wayne Hills needs there. Old Tappan has a long way to go to get this first down. This defense needs to stop here because a huge momentum shift may be on the way for Wayne Hills. Masili in the backfield. The handoff to Radowan. Radowan dancing, not a lot of room. Somehow picks it up and gets back to around the line of scrimmage. It looked like he was going to be bottled up at the line of scrimmage, but he did a great job staying patient and getting back to where Old Tappan had started.
Yeah, he couldn't find a hole, but he had a lot of time in the backfield right there, and he was just able to get what he could. Maybe a gain of about 3 or 4 on that one, and it's now still 2nd and long. So this Patriots team, if they can hold them and get the ball back, this would be big right before half.
So here is the Golden Knights 2nd and 8. Masili back to pass. Masili airing one out way downfield for Eder. He's got him. Leo Eder is brought down inside the 15-yard line, and that is just such a heartbreaker for the Patriots.
And Leo Eder, after maybe a few plays where he didn't get a big play, is back in business, and he's better than ever, and he's all the way into the red zone for this night's offense.
Yeah, obviously it was not the greatest coverage, but I do want to know Wayne Hills plays a lot of players on both offense and defense, so I think it's fair to sometimes give them the benefit of the doubt. I would like to see Wayne Hills kind of rotate players more often on defense, because these guys who are playing full offensive drives then having to go right back on defense, it gets really tiring in a full, 40-minute football game.
So Old Tappan trying to get their 3-score lead back. The handoff to Redowan, and he's not going to go much of anywhere. He's going to pick up a gain of maybe about 4 or 5 there.
Yeah, and I mean, this Wayne Hills offense is a struggle to stop the run game all night. And it looks like, I mean, pending a big defensive stop, it'll be yet another touchdown for this team.
So the Patriots, I mean, it's looking unlikely here, but they need a goal line stand. I mean, you really don't want to have Old Tappan score another touchdown right before half. As Old Tappan's taking their time a little bit here. They're trying to give the ball back to the Patriots with as little time as possible. Motion. The handoff. Redowan is into the end zone. And Old Tappan picks up their 4th score of the game, and Redowan picks up his 2nd on the ground.
Yeah, just more of the same from both angles from this Patriots team. You know, maybe there was hope, especially when it was 2nd and 10, that maybe they'd come up with some new life, but unfortunately they're still not able to stop this Old Tappan team.
And we obviously got excited after the touchdown last drive, but I mean, they just responded insanely quickly, took all hope away.
So here is the extra point for the Golden Knights to make this a 27-7 ball game. And the extra point is up, and it is good, and the life has just been sucked out of this Wayne Hills visiting side. You know, they had so much life and energy after that touchdown, but it's looking very bleak on the Wayne Hills sideline right now.
At least they proved they can put the ball in the end zone right there, though. If nothing else, that proves that they can score. This Old Tappan defense is not impenetrable. They can get it past them, and they need to do that more often. This defense, though, is just still struggled to show any way that they can stop this Old Tappan offense, and that's Leo Eder that's been the biggest problem for them once again, making that big 60-yard reception.
Yeah, I have to agree. Eder is a huge problem, but it's just other things, too. Like, Redowan is doing everything he wants with the run game. I mean, Masili has the ability to drop back and throw a few passes, but he also can pick up some first downs with his legs. I mean, this is just a really complete offense here, and that's why it's really just such a struggle for Wayne Hills, because it's hard to focus on one and the other at the same time. I mean, just their receiving core and their backs for Old Tappan are just exceptional. Some of the best in this group. As here's St. Paul back to receive the kick. It's going to take a bounce. A little bit awkward there. St. Paul's going to pick it up. And St. Paul is wrapped up, I believe, just short of the 20-yard line there. Not great field position here for Hills with under 4 minutes to go here in this first half.
Yeah, I mean, once again, you know, they've actually had some pretty good returns from Turner St. Paul this game, but that time it's just not doing much. Now they're at their own 15, down by 20, running out of time in the first half. They have to defer in the second half. You know, something's got to change quick because it is looking disastrous.
So here's the Hills offense. Verray in motion. Fitzsimmons back to pass. Fitzsimmons, a lot of time. He's just going to fire to St. Paul. And he's going to pick up a gain of about 5 there.
They had a lot of players run deep, maybe a few crossing routes on that play. And, you know, that allowed St. Paul to get open in the flat with all the attention downfield.
So here's Fitzsimmons now back to pass. He's going to air one out for St. Paul and just overthrows him. That would have been a sure shot touchdown for the Patriots there, and it's just out of St. Paul's reach.
Yeah, like Michael mentioned earlier, Mikey Fitzsimmons is kind of dropping back, and it doesn't look like he's really staying mobile. It looks like he's a little flat-footed. Reminds me a little bit of Cam Ward. I don't know if it's a new throwing style or something with the injury he had last week, but it's something we'll have to monitor for the rest of this game.
Yeah, that was just a missed shot, but that is a very difficult throw to make. You know, he's covered all the way down the field. You have to fit it into a tight slot.
So here is Fitzsimmons now on third down, alone in the shotgun. He's dropping back to pass under pressure, avoiding a sack, but he is eventually wrapped up. And that's going to bring up a 4th and long for the Patriots. Just a brutal possession there for the offense.
I mean, you feel like you need to go for it, but at the same time, it would be foolish to go for it this far in your own possession. I mean, they need to score here. Giving the ball back would surely be a death sentence, but so is going it for 4th and 10 in your own territory. So they likely need to go punt here and just hope their defense can salvage something. A reminder that Old Tappan does get the ball to start the second half. So if they go all the way down the field and score at the end of the first, they can do it again in the second. So it could be a 35-point game, but next time Wayne Hills gets the ball.
Yeah, so the last thing Hills wanted to do here was, have a quick 3-and-out and give Old Tappan the ball back with plenty of time to go here in this first half. Old Tappan, has had possessions that have lasted 1, maybe 2 minutes where it has ended in a touchdown. This offense moves very quickly, and I wouldn't be surprised if Old Tappan punches one in right before the half. So here is Van Hook to punt it away. Eder is back to receive. And Eder has just been a problem on not only offense, but also special teams a little bit. It's a high-flying punt that's going to take an awkward bounce for Eder. He's going to pick it up, dancing a little bit, and he is wrapped up behind midfield. That is a great play by Luke Bacchioni.
Luke Bacchioni grabbing him by the legs and wrapping him down. An impressive tackle on the special teams.
There is a penalty marker down. I'm not sure who it's against yet. And it's a personal foul against Old Tappan, so that's going to back them up even further. And Wayne Hills needs to take advantage of this now.
The penalties there did seem to offset. I believe Wayne Hills had something as well.
Well, regardless, it doesn't seem like this is the biggest issue for this Wayne Hills defense right now. Honestly, they need a takeaway. They need something big, a momentum shifter, because right now, this Old Tappan offense is unstoppable.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But this Old Tappan offense just shows no sign of slowing down. As here is Masili now taking the snap. He's dropping back to pass. He's going to use his legs a little bit. Makes a man miss, and he is brought down just short of that first down marker, picking up a gain of about 8 or 9 there.
And I mean, Masili just continues to have his way wherever he wants. He can run it, he can throw it, and this defense appears powerless. Stop him.
With this game, that should be putting him over 200 rushing yards on this season as a quarterback. With so many star talent on this team, you're really just impressed by that.
So the run play by Redowan is going nowhere. That's going to bring up a second, and that's actually going to back them up. He's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up a second about 12 and 11 for Old Tappan.
And it might not seem like very significant, just a loss of 1 or 2 on a game that is not looking too good for this Patriots, but they've got to take these small victories. Even if these small victories don't stack up to a win today, it can continue to bring the momentum into their next game at home against Melbourne.
So here is Masili now, back to pass. He's going to fire, and that is a very uncharacteristic drop for Eder. He has looked fantastic in this game, and he actually makes a little bit of an error there. That's going to bring up 3rd and long for Old Tappan now.
Yeah, 3rd and 11 now. This is Wayne Hill's chance to maybe get the ball back before half. This is the most critical play of the game so far. If they convert this first down, I'm not going to say it's over, but it would be really, really difficult for the Patriots to come back.
Yeah, I'd just like to go back to something you said before, Brandon. I really do believe in momentum shifting in an instant and momentum carrying through games. So Wayne Hill should not lie down and take this the entire game. They need to stay strong. Masili back to pass, firing, and that is a complete catch. Crashilli is going to pick up the first down, and that is just really heartbreaking for this Patriots team. It looks, even plays where their defense looks like they're playing well, they have them 3rd and long, but then Old Tappan just, sucks the life right out of them and picks up big plays and scores touchdowns. As here is Masili now. They hand off to Redowan. Redowan, a pretty big hole there, and he is brought down after a gain of about 6.
Yeah, so Old Tappan has the opportunity to put up 34 points in the first half. I mean, that'd be impressive for a team in the entire game, but just in the first half is absolutely insane.
Yeah, Wayne Hill's, the most amount of points they've let up so far this season was from West Essex, and Old Tappan is already rivaling that as Graselli's not going to go anywhere. That's a great tackle made by Chase Canning.
Yeah, Chase Canning replacing the injured Vasily Vasilopoulos, and, Chase Canning is a very, like I said, he's very good on offense, but on defense he's also improved his tackling over the last few years, and I really like to see that improvement. He's been in the gym a lot too.
Yeah, Chase Canning, former birthday boy, is now just trying to, make something happen for this Patriots defense and maybe even on their offense.
And just going back to Old Tappan putting up almost 34 points, most of the struggles I've seen is actually in the Wayne Hill secondary. As bad as their run defense has been, I think those big chunk plays are what really defeats the morale of the Wayne Hills defense, and especially on that busted coverage when they put up on their last drive, and just a lot of their receivers getting open in the middle of the field.
And so Old Tappan just trying to punch one more touchdown in before the half. We are under a minute to go here in the second quarter and in this first half. It's 1st and 10. They are at around the 12 or 13 yard line. Not a lot to travel to get this touchdown. I mean, Masili and Redowan in the backfield. Motion at the line, and I believe that's against the offense. It's going to back them up, and Wayne Hill's just catching breaks here with penalties and drops. I mean, if Old Tappan was playing absolutely perfect here, this score could be potentially even higher than it is already.
That may have been caused by the amount of noise coming from this Wayne Hills sideline. They have been loud all game. The energy has just shown up and shown out. Great job by the Wayne Hills fans.
Well,
I mean, they're already in field goal range. They're still in the red zone. I don't even know what to say about how this team can feel.
Masili rolling out play action, and I believe just short is that receiver. Johnny just short there. So 1st and goal from the 1. Looks like they're just going to try and punch it in with Redowan, and he is just going to dance into the end zone, and it's going to be 33-7 here with under a minute to go here in this first half.
Yeah, and that's a hat trick there for Redowan. I mean, we usually use a highlighter to highlight touchdowns for the other team, but I'm pretty sure it's not working anymore. Old Tappan has already scored, 5 touchdowns in just the first half. I mean, this is just a little embarrassing for the Wayne Hills defense.
I'd just like to point out that last year, Wayne Hills finished 5-5, and when they played Old Tappan put up 35 points in the first half, and Old Tappan nearly mirroring that against a much stronger, much more complete Wayne Hills defense. And I believe he did miss that extra point, so that's his second extra point miss, and now it's 33-7.
Yeah,
Old Tappan leading.
Yeah, sorry, Mike. I got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, this Wayne Hills extra point defense has been outstanding today, already blocking 2 extra points. But that's really the only positive tonight. That's really unfortunate.
As preposterous as the idea of it sounds, they have to go down the field and score within 46 seconds. I mean, considering that their struggles, even with full time, it's going to be difficult. But they need this score if they want to get back in this game before halftime. Because if Wayne Hills if Old Tappan gets the ball to start the second half and they go down the field and score, it's going to be a running clock.
This kicker, he's only missed 2 extra points this whole season so far, and he has 2 today. I don't know what's been going on, but he's been in a little bit of a slump.
I think we can give credit to this extra point defense from Wayne Hills. So shout out to the special teams coaching. You know, it sounds funny, but if it were to be a close game, those extra points could add up. And that could be the reason. If Wayne Hills were to make a comeback, they win this game.
Well, either way, it hadn't seemed to affect the Knights very much, as they have had their way in every single other aspect of the game.
Yeah, if this game was about 20 halves long and they kept missing extra points and Wayne Hills kept scoring touchdowns, maybe they'd meet in the middle somewhere and make this an interesting game. But here is St. Paul now, not really going anywhere. He's going to be brought down, I believe, just short of the 30-yard line.
So now you have to take a deep shot. You can't just kneel the ball into the half. As tempting as it is, just get out of the half and hope. You got to have some momentum going into the half, even if not to win the game, but just to make the score look a lot more respectable and avoid the running clock. So my guess is James Wolfe, who's back in the game, will take some deep shots, maybe to Cherno St. Paul, maybe David Van Hook, maybe Braden Varay. You know, Zaharski could come out of the backfield, but something down the field is my guess.
So here's Wolfe back in the game at quarterback. Wolfe back to pass, looking to fire a check down to Zaharski, and he's going to step out of bounds after picking up a gain of about 6 there.
Yeah, they got to get a lot more than those yards per play if they want to get into at least field goal range and make it a 3-possession game.
So if you're still with us, Wayne Hills looking to score at least before halftime to make what would be, I believe, a 4-score game into maybe 3, giving them at least a chance to come back.
So here's Wolfe now back to pass. Another check down to Zaharski. And he's going to get to the sideline, I believe. And it's going to be 3rd and short now for the Patriots.
I mean, we're not playing Coldwell here. A check down is not going to be a touchdown every time. I think at this point, Wayne Hills should start experimenting a bit and maybe throw the ball downfield here, only with 28 seconds left. I don't know what a check down's really going to
Well, it's third down and short here, so we'll see what they pull out of the bag of tricks.
This linebacker for the Golden Knights, number 19, has had a lot of tackles today. He's been really impressive.
That would be Aiden Nally.
Yeah, Nally has had an impressive game for this Knights team.
So Wolfe now rolling out a little bit of play action here and is intercepted. And that is just horrible for the Patriots. An interception, and now 23 seconds to go. Dare I say Old Tappan might even score again here.
I jinxed it. I said number 19 in Nalling has been going
Nally.
Nally? Nally, he's been going off tonight. And there it is, interception for him, the play after.
You may have been better off getting an interception, throwing it way downfield as sort of an arm punt. And now, I mean, if Old Tappan scores again, it would be truly embarrassing for Wayne Hills. As good as Old Tappan is, you can't let them put BTA this much.
Yeah, 7 more points, and I believe it's a running clock in the second half.
Yeah, so here is Masili. He's just going to fire. It's intercepted by Wayne Hills. What a play by Chase Canning. He's out in front. No one's going to get there. Pick 6, Wayne Hills. Talk about a momentum.
I said earlier, Chase Canning, I mean, he's a skilled cornerback. He's got speed. I mean, that is honestly a huge play there to cut the lead to 20. Chase Canning with a pick six.
As Chase Canning says to Aiden Nadal, anything you can do, I can do better, as he returns that interception for a pick six. So on back-to-back plays, it's interceptions, but Wayne Hills gets the better of it.
So here is Wayne Hills to potentially make this a 33-14 game and cut the lead to 19, I believe. And May nails the extra point. And momentum may have just shifted for Wayne Hills.
Yeah, I mean, Matt May just mugs the Old Tappan kicker. He makes every single extra point. And, I mean, I'm seeing some job applications for Old Tappan kicker right now. I mean, he's just... I mean, I would prefer Matt May, honestly.
Well, it's definitely a big play, and I don't mean to put a damper on the Wayne Hills spirits here, but this might just be proved to be nothing more than a moral victory, especially with Old Tappan getting the ball after halftime. I mean, never say never, but it's still a very big deficit for them to come back against.
Just Masili's second interception of the season goes to the house for Wayne Hills.
Just an uncharacteristically poor throw from this junior. I mean, it didn't look like he was open, and Canning had easy interception, but his sprint speed to get to the end zone is incredible.
I mean, that defensive touchdown, as funny as it sounds, that's actually pretty massive for this Wayne Hills defense. I mean, they might be producing, they might score at the same rate on defense as they do on offense, but if that's the way they got to get it done, I mean, 3 more pick sixes, and maybe Wayne Hills will have this one in the bag.
So here, with 9 seconds to go in the first half, Old Tappan will get the ball back, but not for long, but they will get the second half kickoff. And it's a little bit of a squib here. Wayne Hills just trying to make some magic happen. And he's brought down at the 40-yard line. 7 seconds here to go in this first half.
Yeah, you got to imagine the Patriots come out and prevent defense right here. Don't want to give up a Hail Mary. Also, maybe guarding 10, 20 yards on the field. Don't want to give up a field goal as they can. They do have one timeout, so they could get a ball inside the numbers and still get down and score again in this first half.
Yeah, Brandon, you said that amazing. I mean, you remind me of an analyst ESPN, Charlie Bird.
So 7 seconds here to go. I mean, like you said, Brandon, they still have, I believe, one timeout. Maybe, yeah, they do have one timeout. So you don't want to give anything up in the middle of the field. I mean, their kicker hasn't looked very reliable. Masili, pass to the sideline. It sails out of bounds. And now 3 seconds to go. They have a chance at one more play, but it may not go anywhere.
Yeah, I think Old Tappan here, you just got to run the ball. You don't want another pick six here. I mean, that would make this game even closer. I mean, it's not that close right now, but another pick six would make this too close for comfort for Old Tappan. So I think here they may just take a knee or run the ball out. No point in going deep.
Yeah, so 3 seconds to go, and they're going to take a knee. And that is going to be it for the first half. So Wayne Hills is down on the ground, but they still have a pulse. And that's going to wrap it up here. 33-14. Old Tappan leading the way here at the end of this first half. Second half action when we return. Welcome back for the second half of action, but before we begin, let's hear from our sponsors. So tonight's broadcast has been brought to you by the following: Catalyst Performance and Rehab. Catalyst was created to bridge the gap between rehabilitation and performance training, giving you the most comprehensive approach to your health. Check out our new location in Oakland, New Jersey, Catalyst Loft, offering yoga and Pilates group classes, massage therapy, chirotherapy, and rehab. And The Grove for all your catering and special events needs. Call 973-239-0270. A luxury New Jersey wedding venue for your unique love story. On the biggest day of your life, you'll be focused on each other. We'll be focused on you and only you. And Alliance Performance, the official performance and recovery sponsor of Wayne Hills football, helping our athletes stay strong, recover fast, and play their best. Alliance Performance, where champions are made. So here we are, the start of the second half. Old Tappan leading the way by 19 points. Wayne Hills is not, I'm going to say, dead in the water, but they at least have a pulse of some sort because of that pick six at the end of the first half.
And, yeah, I'm not going off Michael said. I'm not going to go so far as to say Chase Canning put them back in this game, make this a competitive game, but I am going to say that it's definitely helped a lot, and it looks a lot better than it did going into the half.
So here are the Golden Knights here. They have great field position to start here at the 40-yard line. And this Old Tappan offense has just looked unstoppable. The only mistake they've really made was that pick six. Other than that, their offense has been nearing perfection in this game. As Masili now in the backfield. The handoff to Radon, I believe. And he is brought down. He's going to pick up a gain of about 5 there. And he may be down on the play.
Just more of the same for this Wayne Hills defense. Masili, I mean, he's just had his way with this defense all night.
So here is Masili now, 2nd and 5. He is going to hand it off to Radon, and he's still on his feet. And he is brought down after picking up the first down and a lot more.
Yeah, I think we just see the two sides of this game. For Wayne Hills, they've been struggling to even score the ball, get first downs. For Old Tappan, it takes them 2 plays, and they're already at the opposing 35-yard line. I mean, this offense, combined with how poorly, I got to say, Wayne Hills' defense has been, it's just a bad recipe for this Wayne Hills football team.
Yeah, well, you know, it might not be a win for this Patriots, but they've still got a chance to put something on the board and show some momentum going into their next game against Millward and going into these playoffs. If they're going to win a state championship, however tough it may be, they're probably going to have to go through Old Tappan again. So if they can prove they can do something against this offense in defense, it's going to look a lot stronger in that playoff.
Masili, another handoff. Radon has the sideline, plenty of room. There's a flag on the play, and he is pushed out of bounds at the 15-yard line. And it will be, I believe, a holding against the Golden Knights. So it's going to reverse that very big play for the Golden Knights.
So now it's 1st and a lot longer, maybe 1st and about 20 for these Knights. And, you know, sometimes you got to take these small victories. If you're Wayne Hills, you might not be able to stop them in the drive in total, but if you can get a few plays where you push them back, it definitely helps.
So 10 and a half minutes, you know, we're already a minute and a half into this third quarter, and, you know, Old Tappan was already almost knocking on that door if it wasn't for that holding penalty. This Wayne Hills visitor side is still very active, very involved in this game. Masili, the pass. Eder almost makes a leaping catch, but he's unable to reel it in. It's going to bring up 2nd and 20 for this Golden Knights offense.
Yes,
yeah, Chase Cannon looked like a PS2 right now. I mean, he's just a lockdown corner right now. He had that pick 6 earlier and a huge stop there for Mr. Chase Canning.
Yeah, Chase Canning has been a rare strong spot in this Patriots team tonight with the pick 6 and obviously that big breakup right there. He's looking to tailor this performance into upcoming games.
Yeah, so the last thing you want to do if you're Wayne Hills here is just give up a just uncharacteristic first down. I mean, you have them backed up 2nd and 20. If you want to make a stop, this is the moment to do it. Wayne Hills visitor side is buzzing. Masili, the handoff, Radon, nowhere to go. And he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 20 coming up for the Golden Knights.
And for the first time all game, it is 3rd and a country mile for this Old Tappan team. So Wayne Hills defense needs to hold strong, especially in the secondary, and maybe they can get off the field and force a turnover and force a punt.
Yeah, so the last thing you want to do if you're Wayne Hills is give up a big play to either Eder or Shane Small, number 13. You have to avoid a first down at all costs here if you want to even stay remotely in this game. Masili back to pass. Masili fires one. He's got Shane Small, reels it in. And that is going to be our first down for the Golden Knights.
And it feels like every time Wayne Hills has a third or second and long, Old Tappan just finds a way to get a first down. You know, I'm just disappointed in Wayne Hills' defense not being able to stop them on third down. I mean, what else can they do but throw the ball? You've got to cover the middle of the field. I know it's easier said than done, but it's just been happening way too often tonight.
You know, Shane Small is a bit of an oxymoron because he's the biggest player compared to whoever is covering him, and he is getting down the field with the ease.
So a new set of downs here for the Golden Knights. The handoff to Radon, and he is bottled up at around the line of scrimmage. And it's going to bring up second down and 10 for the Golden Knights.
So second and about 9 for these Patriots, and once again, they do have some stops, but it seems like every time they do get a stop, it is canceled out by another big play.
So here are the Golden Knights, second and about 8. The handoff to Radon. He's got a pretty big hole, makes a man miss, stays on his feet, diving for the end zone. And he is just short. And that's going to bring up a first and goal here for the Golden Knights.
This defense has just been unsuccessful in stopping them tonight. They really have got to lock in and get this working.
Here, Masili, the handoff. Radon is into the end zone, picks up his 4th touchdown on the ground, and extends this lead 39-14 with 7.5 minutes here to go in this third quarter.
You know, the story of the game, even though it has kind of been a blowout so far, is third down defense. I just can't believe that on 3rd and 20, the Wayne Hills defense gives up what was a 25-yard reception on your biggest defensive drive of the game. You let them score, and I think that's just the story of the game for Wayne Hills. They just can't stop this Old Tappan offense, and I don't see it changing anytime soon.
I mean, this Wayne Hills defense, not to discount their incredible performance this season, because they have played strong, only giving up 14 points in 3 games at home. Tonight, they haven't looked nearly as good.
So the kicker actually made the extra point, and it is it's now 40-14 now, and Wayne Hills, they are just looking very lifeless here on the sideline.
Yeah, looking like the kicker was able to get the extra point there, something I wasn't fully expecting, but good for him to get back on track there, hitting the extra point. Brings his percentage up to, I believe, 60% on the night.
You know, I feel like they might throw out the starters for one drive, and then we'll see if they start to mix it up, maybe go with different packages, maybe get some guys who don't normally get as much playing time in the game. You know, we've seen them do that when they're up big, but they will likely do the same when they're down big, especially in a situation as dire as this one. It is already a 26-point deficit, and if it gets to any more, it is not looking good.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon, I know you're good at math, but that's 4 scores right there. This is a 4-score game, and, you know, Wayne Hills, I don't think it's time to take out the starters yet, but if they don't score on this drive, they might look to some of the players who don't get in as much.
I personally believe that C.J. Puglisi, we need him in. That man's explosive.
I disagree, but here is Old.
Well, Cherno St. Paul is back on this kickoff. He's had a few solid returns today. We'll see what he can do.
Yeah, St. Paul, I mean, I don't really want to call him one of the bright spots on this Wayne Hills team, his returning being a bright spot, but unfortunately, I think I do. It has been one of the few bright spots here for Wayne Hills today, and I believe that's going to be Foray taking the kick back, and he finds a hole, stays on his feet, and he gets past the 40 and just short of the 45-yard line. Big gain for Braden Foray there.
You know, neither quarterback being able to have stringing together multiple plays in a row of success. So we'll see who they go with here. I mean, these are the best quarterback tandem in northern New Jersey without a doubt, and each one of them are fully capable starters at many other schools in North Jersey. It's just tonight this Old Tappan defense has suffocated them.
The handoff, the fakes the handoff. Fitzsimmons back to pass, firing way downfield for St. Paul. He's got him! Reeled in by St. Paul! Inside the 15-yard line, a huge gain for Wayne Hills.
And Cherno St. Paul is keeping hope alive on the Patriots sideline.
Yeah, I mean, Cherno St. Paul, he is the definition of greatness for this Wayne Hills offense. He's just a great receiver, great route runner, and I think we need some more of that.
And he is just an absolute athlete on the field.
Biggest gain of the night for Wayne Hills. Fitzsimmons, the handoff to Rappaport. Rappaport bouncing on the line, but he is wrapped up at around the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 3 or 4 there.
They've got to score quick. I mean, even though Wayne Hills is down by a lot, you got to assume they're still playing for the win here. And in that case, they need scores and quickly, even though it's still early in the second half.
Fitzsimmons, the handoff back to Rappaport. Rappaport barreling forward. He's going to pick up a gain of about 3 or 4 there. It's going to bring down 3rd and goal now, I believe, for the Patriots. The handoff, Rappaport again. Diving for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Wayne Hills. Wayne Hills gets their first touchdown of the half and makes the score 40-20.
And Evan Rappaport, the Wayne Hills version of Knuckles, gets into the end zone. We saw him with a huge touchdown run last week. I mean, he's like if you combined a gazelle and a lion together. Super fast, super strong. He's just an amazing stud running back.
So that was one of the 2 drives this tonight that showed sustained offensive success from Wayne Hills. Obviously, the big play to St. Paul really improved that, but it shows some signs of life and it shows some hope.
And Matt May nails the extra point. And, I mean, at this point in the game for Wayne Hills, that big play is something they really need more of. They can't really sustain these short gains, even though they are getting some short gains, and it has been a little bit effective for them. It's something that they haven't been really able to sustain. And, I feel like they just have to look for that long ball a little bit more, especially since how out of hand the score really is.
And you just have to imagine how much closer this game would be if they, got that stop on 3rd down. And I believe they could have had more stops earlier in the game, as well as an interception by James Wolfe. But obviously there wasn't too much time left in the half when that happened. But nevertheless, Wayne Hills with a very, very solid drive there. And, it's just like halftime. We're only at a 19-point deficit. I mean, it's not over until the clock hits triple zeros for this Wayne Hills team.
And against Passaic Valley last week, we saw Wayne Hills use an offense filled with short screen passes and explosive runs. Ethan Zaharsky and Evan Rappaport both having 50-plus yard runs in that game for touchdowns. So far, they've been bottled up and they've been forced to go to the air. And if they can go to the air with like that to Cherno St. Paul more, they're probably going to get a lot more success because this run defense from Northern Highlands Old Tappan is smothering.
So Matt May will kick the ball back off to the Golden Knights. Eder, a little bit of miscommunication on the kick. Eder fumbling the snap. Eder is brought down at the 10-yard line. Great play by the special teams.
Yeah, DVH, we call him Maserati Dave. I mean, he's just so fast. How could you be an insane receiver and an insane tackler? Dave Van Hook does it all.
Not only good tackler, but holder, punter, and many more.
Now that Old Tappan's pinned deep within their own territory, normally if you're a football team, this is a great position to be in, have the defense offense pinned in their own territory, and you think you're going to get a big stop. But this Old Tappan offense has scored a touchdown, I believe, every single drive against the interception, unless I'm mistaken. So we'll see if it's actually a bright spot or it's just as the prospects are just as dim as before.
Masili back to pass. Ayers went out way downfield for Eder. How did he catch that? Threading the needle is Masili, and Ederly has just been Ederly insane here in this game.
Yeah, I mean, he just split the defense right there. Chase Canning and Braden Ferrer on the coverage, and he's just able to get right in between them. Chase Canning looked like he maybe got a fingertip on it, but it's not enough to knock the pass away from Leo Eder.
Unfortunately, the fingertip is not enough there for Chase Canning, but I will say that he had pretty good coverage. It's just a better play by Leo Eder.
Vasily the handoff to Redown, and he takes a big hit from Luke Bacchioni at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Golden Knights.
I'd say that Bacchioni has been one of the biggest bright spots of this game for Wayne Hills. He has made tackle after tackle, and even though the defense collectively has not played well and given up a lot of points, Bacchioni seems to be in there on almost every play, especially on this run defense.
So here is Old Tappan now, 2nd and about 9. Vasily in the backfield with Redown. The handoff. Redown dancing, staying on his feet and powering forward for a gain of about 3 or 4 there. Bring up 3rd and medium for the Golden Knights.
So it's 3rd and medium for Old Tappan. Old Tappan has had their fair share of 3rd downs, but I cannot come up with a time where they were able to force 4th. Old Tappan is perfect on 3rd down conversion in this game, and Wayne Hills is definitely trying to change things up. As you know, this Wayne Hills support side is getting loud.
Despite Old Tappan putting up 40 points, this Wayne Hills visitor side, as I say time and time again, is just full of life. Vasily play action here. Vasily fires, and it's caught. Huge catch made by Nicolo.
Yeah, and most teams, if you're in Old Tappan position, you just be running the ball out in this game earlier. But with how bad Wayne Hill's secondary has been, aside from our 1 pick 6, you are better off throwing the ball than running it.
And that is a perfect example of play action rollout pass. He fakes the ball to the running back, goes the other way, and catches Christakis Nicolo, the junior from Old Tappan, running across the middle on the crossing route. Beautifully designed play.
Vasily the handoff. Redown's got a little bit of a hole there and powers through for a gain of about 5 or 6.
You know, Redown's just bouncing around. It's just very difficult to tackle him, and this Wayne Hills defense just tries grabbing, and it takes 2, 3, 4, even 5 guys sometimes to get him down. He seems to be unstoppable, as does the rest of this Old Tappan offense.
Yeah, Redown is looking for his 5th rushing touchdown of the night. They take him out, and they're going to put in Toy and at running back as a 2nd and short coming up. The handoff to Toy is met at the line of scrimmage. Huge hit and great play by the Wayne Hills defensive line. And there is a flag on the play. And that was well after the play had been ran and the play had been whistled dead. It's a little interesting to see who this penalty is against. So I believe it is against Old Tappan as they are backing up. It is against Old Tappan, and that's going to back them up quite considerably, bringing up a 3rd and very long. 2nd and very long, excuse me.
And while Old Tappan has had their fair share of penalties, especially pre-snap penalties, it just has not seemed to make a difference. No matter how many yards they lose over the course of the set of downs, they're always able to get that 1st down. And that is what Wayne Hills has struggled with, stopping them on 2nd down, stopping them on 3rd down. It's not that there sure have been some big plays for Old Tappan, do not get me wrong, but it's really been the stopping them on 2nd and 3rd down has been the issue. They just cannot get them to get to 4th down, and that is why they're losing this game.
Well said, Brandon.
So it will be actually 3rd and long. I think the loss of down does go into effect there. The pitch play to Nicolo. Nicolo, a little bit of room on the sideline, and he may just get back to the line of scrimmage, but it's not going to be enough for a 1st down. And now Old Tappan has to make the decision here on what to do.
4th and very long, but their kicker has struggled today, missing 2 extra points. So we got to see what the decision is right here, as it looks like the offense is staying on. Oh, maybe there was a penalty because they're walking back. So it might be 3rd and even longer. Got to wonder if Wayne Hills considered declining that penalty at all, considering their struggles in stopping 3rd down.
So with the penalty, they are backed up. I think this is almost 3rd and 30 now. The 1st down may be all the way back home in Wayne Hills, as here is Old Tappan feeling the pressure a little bit here. 2.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Masili in the backfield. Masili back to pass, looking, fires, sideline. It's caught, and he is brought down, maybe just getting back to the line of scrimmage. Crescetti does a great job there by picking up a little bit of extra yardage there.
It looks like they're going to keep the offense off the field and go for it here.
If they convert here, it would be truly remarkable, being what I believe was 3rd and 30 even. And now it looks to be about 4th and 14. So I'm surprising that they're going for this, but maybe they just want to put more salt in the wounds.
Yeah, the decision to go for him here makes sense. You know, their kicker has been pretty unreliable in this game, but their offense and their pass game has been extremely just unstoppable. Wayne Hills trying not to give up a first down here, and I believe Old Tappan will use a timeout to talk things over here on this 4th down play.
What it looked like there, maybe they were trying to get them to jump off sides, because in this position, you obviously can't punt it at the 30-yard line. But with how your kicker's been, I would have no confidence in him making a field goal from this distance. But nevertheless, I think being up by this much, I think you might as well go for it. You know, practice some new plays maybe. But yeah, I just don't think they trust their kicker enough to kick what would be a 46-yard field goal. Owen?
I don't know if you really want to call it timeout. Giving any time to this game, I think you just try to run the clock out and sort of get this game over with. But one thing I do want to point out is we can see our breath right now. This is cold game. It might have some implications.
I think that's regular football weather, Owen.
Well, I haven't seen to slow down this Old Tappan offense, I'll tell you that much.
So here is the Old Tappan offense taking the field now. Masili has been phenomenal through the air tonight and on the ground, using his legs a little bit. 4th and 14. What is Old Tappan pulling out of their bag of tricks now? Masili rolling out, escaping pressure. He's going to use his legs. Takes a big hit, and he is short of that first down marker. It's Wayne Hills football with 1 minute and 10 seconds to go here in this third quarter.
Yeah, and Wayne Hills has some hope after a drive that felt like forever. But finally, Wayne Hills gets a stop. Down by 19. May seem like a lot. There's still a full quarter and 1 minute of this third quarter left in this football game. Brandon, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be very tough, but Wayne Hills, we talked about momentum a lot in this game. We've talked about momentum a lot against the Valley game, and momentum seems to be creeping onto the Patriots sideline. Now, if they can sustain that, they can score a drive. Now we're talking to business. Now we got a ball game, but there's only 13 minutes and 10 seconds left in this one, so they've got to score quick.
Yeah, even though, you know, momentum may be on their side right now, it may not ultimately mean a win, but momentum can shift games. You know, this can be momentum they bring into the Milburn game, and then momentum they carry into the playoffs. So, very important quarter coming up, but that, I believe, is Zaharski, who is brought down behind the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be a loss for Wayne Hills.
Now, I will say, well, James Wolfe has played very well this year, to say the least, and has an amazing passer rating. I know they like to switch the quarterback off every other drive here, but being down by this much, I think it's not crazy to put in Mikey Fitzsimmons here, just because we know how good he is with his downfield and deep passing. I just think in a game like this, if you have two vertical deep threat receivers such as Dave Van Hook and Charles St. Paul, Mikey Fitzsimmons seems like the better pick here.
James Wolfe has had his fair share of deep throws too this season.
So here is Wolf now taking the snap. He's going to fire for St. Paul, who is immediately met. I don't believe he's going to pick up a lot on that. Maybe a gain of about 5 or 6.
Well, it's a nice pass and completion. That only gained what I want to say about 3 yards. And at this point in the game, that's just not enough. I mean, it looks like this third quarter is about to end, and it is already 3rd and medium for this Wayne Hills offense. So they're really going to have to convert here, and if not, they're going to have to start throwing it downfield. On to you, Mike.
Yeah, so with the end of the third quarter, before we begin the final quarter of action, let's hear one more time from our sponsors. Tonight's broadcast has been brought to you by the following: Catalyst Performance and Rehab, Gaddis was created to bridge the gap between rehabilitation and performance training, giving you the most comprehensive approach to your health. Check out our new location in Oakland, New Jersey, Catalyst Loft, offering yoga and Pilates group classes, massage therapy, cryotherapy, and rehab. And The Grove for all your catering and special event needs. Call 973-239-0270. A luxury New Jersey wedding venue for your unique love story. On the biggest day of your life, you'll be focused on each other. We'll be focused on you and only you. And by Alliance Performance, the official performance and recovery sponsor of Wayne Hills football. Helping our athletes stay strong, recover fast, and play their best. Alliance Performance, where champions are made. So one more quarter to play. Wayne Hills trailing by 19, so still the same deficit as it was at halftime. But Wayne Hills, this game may be out of reach at this point, officially. Anything can happen, but this game may be officially out of reach. But Wayne Hills should not lie down. They should not give up. They should carry momentum at the end of this game into the next game. And, I mean, they're just going to have to see what happens. Wolf evading pressure. Wolf has nowhere to go. Dances too long in the pocket. And he is going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to be another loss for Wayne Hills.
Yeah, I believe that is Old Tappan's first sack of the game. And say what you will about this Wayne Hills offense, but their pass blocking has been very good. As it appears, they will punt it yet again.
Yeah, you have to punt it there. But, with the decision to punt, that means you really trust your defense to get a stop here. For any chance in this ball game, I mean, they're going to have to punt it and stop them, I would say, within 3 minutes to have any chance to get the ball back and score.
So Van Hook, the punt away to Eder. It's a high-flying punt over Eder's head, and it's rolling down inside the 25-yard line. The ball is now at the 22-yard line. And a great punt from David Van Hook, kicking it from his own end all the way to Old Tappan's 22-yard line.
Yeah, I want to say there, great punt by David Van Hook. Like we said, I mean, we talk about how amazing he is all the time. Great receiver, great defensive back, and a great punter. And also, heads-up play there by Evan Rappaport, letting the ball roll as far as possible before touching it down.
As the score stands right now, it is respectable. A 19-point loss is definitely not a close game, but it's also not total destruction like we've seen Wayne Hills do to some other teams such as Caldwell and Kennedy.
To be fair, I don't think the scoreboard exactly describes how this game is going. What do you think, Brandon?
Well, I somewhat agree, especially considering that 7 of those points came from a defensive touchdown. It just hasn't gone Wayne Hills' way, point blank.
Yeah, so Wayne Hills, I mean, this is easily their toughest opponent on their schedule all season. I mean, it was a really tough test for them. I mean, it's hard when you play mid-tier opponents and then have to play a team like Old Tappan, as Redown is going to pick up a gain of about 5 there. Yeah, so 11 minutes here to go in this game.
So
Hills just trying to stay strong.
Coming into the week, Wayne Hills was 5th in standings for playoff relations, so they would host a playoff game if they are top 8. So we'll see if they sustain that after this game, as the results from Friday all around northern New Jersey will unfold.
Yeah, so here is Old Tappan now. Vasily under center, but now he moves to his left. And that is Redain, who's going to, I believe, be just short of the first down. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short for Old Tappan. So Old Tappan now 3rd and short. They're really just trying to milk the clock here. A lot of run plays here in this second half. The handoff. Redan is going to pick up the first down and maybe a little bit more and move the chains for this Golden Knights offense.
I mean, no reason to sling it downfield now, especially as Jake and I just mentioned about, it's still not a close game, but if you do throw too many picks, try to get a little bit too fancy, try to get too risky, it could come back to bite them. So it will probably see a lot of runs to the running back Rodoyan this quarter, especially considering the success he's had running all night.
So we are under the 10-minute mark now. Time just dripping away here in this fourth quarter. Again, like I said, Old Tappan just taking their sweet time here. Vasily, the handoff, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1 or 2 there.
Time is ticking on what is, in all likelihood, a big victory for Old Tappan. And, the way Old Tappan has handled some of their opponents this season, as I've said multiple times in the past few minutes, this game hasn't been close, but Wayne Hills did put up a fight. Old Tappan is easily the best team in this group. So if they can play like this against Old Tappan, they're going to have a very good chance against some of the teams they'll see in the playoffs. And who knows, maybe they'll see them again for a state title opportunity.
Vasily back to pass, rolling out on the sideline. The catch was made, but there is a flag down on the play. That was a great catch by Eder nonetheless.
Flag looks to be at the line of scrimmage.
So the holding will be on Old Tappan and it will back them up. And the reception by Eder will be reversed. Chase Canning is limping off the field, I would like to note right now. I believe a cramp in his knee.
I mean, Chase Canning, you hate to see him go down, especially because he's had, I'd argue, a breakout game. We saw him catch a few slant passes early in the year. Last week he had a few good catches. He's been quiet for a good amount of the year, but when he's been in the game, he's definitely shown some promise on both offense and defense.
So Old Tappan taking their sweet time here in the cold. Vasily back to pass, a little bit of lime, rolling out, using his legs, fires to the sideline, and a great play, I believe, by Troy Demikoff to knock the ball out of the receiver's hands. An exceptional play by the Wayne Hills secondary.
And some more holding called, so I believe, so that will back Old Tappan up even more.
I do have to note, there has been quite a few penalties against Old Tappan. I mean, do you think that's just an undisciplined type of thing? This is definitely something that they have to try and clean up, especially in the postseason when you're playing, tougher opponents where penalties will actually matter.
I mean, in this game it hasn't hurt him, but in a closer game it definitely could.
So 3rd and very long, about 3rd and 17 now for Old Tappan. It's nothing like they've never seen before. They've converted on longer 3rd downs here in this one. Vasily immediately sensing pressure, rolls out, running. Vasily has the sideline. Vasily, a huge gain. Turns a 3rd and 17, and there's a little extracurricular after the play, and a flag is down.
Yeah, Zaharsky absolutely ripped him to the ground right there. We got to see who this penalty is on, but right there, just a complete defensive breakdown.
My money would be it's on Wayne Hills there, but I'm not sure.
I believe it might be an unnecessary roughness. I saw a push by Old Tappan. I believe that's what it is on by the quarterback after the great run.
Wayne Hills has struggled to stop the QB run this season. West Essex, Jake Long, the West Essex quarterbacks, completely dominated them. And this one is on Old Tappan as they'll walk back. But just finishing off about the quarterback running. Stopping that will be key to this team in the playoffs as they face tougher and tougher opponents like we see on the field with the Old Tappan Knights.
So I believe the unnecessary roughness or unsportsmanlike conduct or whatever the call may have been is going to back Old Tappan up 15 yards. And what turns an extremely long, around a 50-yard run play, and cuts that down by about 15 yards.
Once again, not a play that's going to affect the outcome of this game, but it does show certain lack of discipline that could impact them in later games.
So Masili, the handoff to Redown. Bouncing off the line, Redown is brought down by Sean George, and there is another flag. And there is some extracurricular after the play here again, too.
Things are getting chippy in northern New Jersey.
Yeah, tensions are definitely rising on the Wayne Hills side, and I think Old Tappan is just tired of playing these Patriots. I think they just want this game to be over.
Yeah, Old Tappan wants this game to be over, but if you keep acting like fools, this game will take forever. I mean, this feels like a Wayne Hills comeback. I know it sounds crazy, but mark my words, if this is a Wayne Hills comeback, I wouldn't be surprised.
Wayne Hills is definitely not going down without a fight. I'll say that, Jake.
The amount of penalties on unsportsmanlike conduct type plays has just been unsportsmanlike. It's unacceptable. I mean, you're up so much. You just got to calm down and just play normal football. You can't really do anything after the
Yeah, I agree with that. Unsportsmanlike conduct is pretty unsportsmanlike, to say the least. I mean, that is why it is a flag.
So the penalty is against Wayne Hills. I'm not sure what the call is. It seemed like they threw the flag during the tackle. I didn't see anything wrong with the tackle by Sean George, but there is a timeout on the field, I believe used by Old Tappan.
I mean, there's no reason to get into fight. No need to start pushing people. It's going to cause penalties, and even though they may not impact this game, it could lead to suspensions in further games, and it could cause injury. You know, this game's most likely going to end in Old Tappan's favor, and these players just don't want to hurt each other at this point in the game.
So Wayne Hill's next opponent will be Millburn, which should be a relatively easier game. You know, it should be a confidence booster heading into the postseason, especially if Wayne Hills felt like they hadn't played at full strength in this game. It'll definitely be a game that they can bounce back from against Millburn and head into the postseason with a little bit more confidence there.
Yeah, and as for the TV crew, you guys will be hearing more of Owen Gaddis, star broadcaster for Wayne Hills, who actually called a 35-point victory by Wayne Hills versus Caldwell. So I got to shine some light on him. He's been doing a great job this year. You got any words?
Thank you, Goodman. That was a little unexpected, but thanks.
So here's Old Tappan now, 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line here in enemy territory. Masili backing to pass, somehow gets the ball to Small, and Small powering through, picks up the first down.
Yeah, like Brandon said, I mean, he's been studying his English. That's an oxymoron right there. His name is Small, but he's definitely a big dude.
Yeah, his ability to just break through tackles, get down the field, his speed, his athleticism, his strength, no one has matched that on the field tonight, except for maybe the speed of Leo Etter. But in terms of his strength and break tackle ability, that's been all Small.
So here are the Golden Knights now, 1st and 10 from around the 20-yard line. The handoff to Redown, bouncing on the line, and he is going to keep powering through, pick up a gain of around 3 or 4 there.
Yeah, I believe that could be up to even 7 or 8 yards right there. And I mean, he just continues to have his way with this defense, right alone. The run game, the pass game, seems like no matter what they try, it works. As opposed, I think Wayne Hill's offense, no matter what happens, it does not work. They've had those 2 drives outside of that. They've just been stagnant, a lot of 3-and-outs. You know, they've only have 1 turnover, Wayne Hills, so they have kept the ball. They have been big on ball security, no fumbles, but just not able to produce the success they've wanted.
Masili, the handoff to Latoy. Latoy powering through, and he is very close to that first down, and they are signaling first down. And it's 1st and goal now here for these Golden Knights.
Yeah, that was a scary head-to-head collision there for Ethan Zarkarski. You just got to hope not too much damage there. He seems to be standing upright for the most part, so I think he'll be fine, but that was honestly just a loud and scary hit. We heard it all the way up here from the booth. Not the booth, more like the top of the bleachers.
The Patriots going to try to mount a goal line stand here. They've yet to find any success this time. They've yet to find any success up to this point, but perhaps they will this time.
So here is this Golden Knight offense now. First and goal. Vasily, the handoff. And that is a great play made by the Wayne Hills D-line. David Van Hook making a great tackle.
Yeah, they are keeping starters in on defense as they want to get them some more reps. As the game was not really fully out of reach until going into this drive, but as this drive has wasted more and more time, it is now almost definitely out of reach. But they're going to keep the starters in at least for the rest of the drive, and we'll see how they progress for the rest of the game.
So here is a second and goal now for the Golden Knights. They're around the 5 or 6 yard line. Wayne Hills just desperately not trying to give up more points here in this game. The handoff, and that is a Old Tappan touchdown, just adding insult to injury. And it's a 46-21 game now, and Wayne Hills is now, I'd say, officially dead in the water.
I mean, they've fought hard, but it just seems like they'll come back attempt. Even if it didn't last, it definitely came up short.
Yeah, and I just want to say, although Wayne Hills definitely hasn't been playing amazing ball tonight, they have been plagued by injuries. Anthony Cuccinello currently seems to be a little banged up. We saw Vasily Vasilopoulos out for the game. Chase Canning had a minor injury, but he seems to be back on the sidelines. Vinny Romano was getting something checked out for a bit. So a lot of Wayne Hills' star players have been hurt tonight.
So here is Old Tappan now to kick the extra point. Potentially making this a 47-21 ball game. Maybe not. And it's an absolute laser through the uprights. And it's now 47-21, Old Tappan leading.
Yeah, I was not expecting the made extra point there, but shout out to him getting it done.
It seemed like Wayne Hills might have false started on that one. If you want to go back, I think it's a definite they did false start there. I don't know how the ref didn't see that one, but it was pretty clear false start on Wayne Hills. Not that it matters.
Yeah, I think they may have jumped there a little bit early, but I think the refs just want to go home. I mean, unfortunately, at one point, this Wayne Hills team thought they had a chance, but ever since the first drive, it feels like it's just been Old Tappan the entire game, having full momentum. Brandon, we've talked about this every week. What do you think momentum means to a football game, and especially for this Wayne Hills team?
Well, I think the key to momentum is keeping it on your side. And when it slips away from you, it can turn a drop into a river, into a waterfall, into a cascade, into a tsunami. And right now, it's a tsunami for this Old Tappan offense as Wayne Hills appears washed away.
Yeah, I mean, you seem to know all your facts about water. I mean, really impressive.
But all water metaphors aside, Wayne Hills just from the opening kickoff, they've just not been able to keep up with Old Tappan. And maybe it's an adjustment period, but if they start in the playoffs and they start playing these stronger teams, you got to imagine they'd have to up the ante.
Yeah, so 47, I mean, the game isn't over, but 47 points is the most amount of points Wayne Hills has allowed this season. The most before that was Wayne Valley with 34, and that game was riddled with mistakes and penalties and turnovers. So that isn't really a great measure of Wayne Hills' defense, but, I mean, this game has just showed really how dominant and how unstoppable this Old Tappan offense truly is.
And even when their defense has struggled, their offense has been able to bail them out. Like in West Essex, sure, they gave up 38 points, but they scored 45. This time, just the offense, while they've had some solid drives, just not able to fully correct for that.
Fitzsimmons back to pass. He's firing for the sideline. He's got D'Argenio, who has the sideline a little bit. Has some room to work. Stays on his feet. Can't bring him down. And he is brought down just short of the 40-yard line. And Wayne Hills is now in enemy territory.
D'Argenio already with the touchdown in this one. Now this big play. He's another player who has had some solid plays in this one. And the theme of the game is, while the game's been all Old Japan, there have been bright spots for Wayne Hills in a majority of their players.
The pass, he finds Cherno St. Paul on the sideline. What a catch by Cherno St. Paul. And Wayne Hills is moving the ball.
And speaking of bright spots, or like you almost said white spots, Cherno St. Paul was wide open. He saw that jersey over there, and he just knew if you put the ball up to Cherno St. Paul, he's going to make that insane toe tap grab. That's why Cherno St. Paul is a star receiver for Wayne Hills.
Yeah, he is able to just drag those feet in. Just incredible awareness of where he is on the field and able to make that catch on the sideline. That's why he's an everyday player, and that's what makes him so good.
So here is Wayne Hills now moving the ball with haste. Fitzsimmons fires, and he has St. Paul. It's reeled in, and he's going to gain a gain of about 4 there.
And like I said, Mikey Fitzsimmons, despite looking to be a little bit injured, we still don't know how severe that is. I think he's actually looked really good in this game, especially in the hurry-up offense. And with these deep passes, I think Fitzsimmons has actually had a great game.
Fitzsimmons back to pass, rolling out. A little bit of pressure. Fitzsimmons using his legs. He has the sideline, and he steps out of bounds. And I believe he may have been just short of that first down marker. It's going to bring up, no, they're giving him the first down, so it's going to be moving the chains for this Wayne Hills team.
And I think it's fair to say, we talk about momentum, Wayne Hills just wants to score here, not necessarily to win the game, because I think we can all agree at this point it's out of reach. But going into next game versus Milburn, they want to ride the hot hand at least, despite losing. If we can end this game with a touchdown, it's one bright spot, and we can work off this for next week and during practice.
Fitzsimmons rolling out. The pass is incomplete on the sideline. His intended receiver there, I believe, was Braden Verrey.
Yeah, an uncharacteristic drop from Verrey. Normally has short hands, and he's just one of Wayne Hill's best receivers. And he has had some solid. He hasn't gotten a lot of action his way this game, but I think that's just been more of a byproduct of the total offensive struggles rather than a specific problem with Verrey, because he's been running his routes well. He's been getting open, just unable to get the ball to him for a variety of factors.
So here's Wayne Hills now. We are under 4 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. 2nd and 10 now. Fitzsimmons all alone in the backfield. Back to pass. He's firing. He finds St. Paul. And he's going to get a pickup of about 5 or 6 there. So he's going to bring up 3rd and medium now for the Patriots.
And, a touchdown here, while it won't obviously change the outcome of this game, it won't be huge for morale and send them out on a high note going against the Milburn team next week at Patriot Stadium, which will be live on WHTV.
Yeah, so Wayne Hills, a touchdown here would just mean making this score a little bit more respectable. A 26-point deficit they're facing right now. Fitzsimmons to Zakarski, evading a tackle, but Eder is going to get there on both sides of the ball. Has just been an issue that Wayne Hills has failed to address here in this game. So Wayne Hills will use a timeout to discuss things here on 4th down.
Yeah, we'll see if maybe they go with some slant action. Maybe they try to throw a fader out to Cherno St. Paul. We've seen them do that a few times this year. And, really in these short yardage situations, you want to get just a play that will get a few yards. And this run game just frankly has not worked. So you're obviously going to try to do something in the passing game in all likelihood, but we'll see what happens. But, as I was saying earlier, there's been a lot of while obviously the game has gone mostly negative, has been Wayne Hills, they have to build on the positives. They have to take those building blocks and bring it to the big picture. There's a lot of lessons to be learned from this game, both positive and negative, and that is what will build this football team into the contender they want to be. Not just this year, but next year. Remember, they've got a ton of young players. James Wolfe, Jr., Evan Rapport, Jr., Ethan Zaharski, a sophomore, David Van Hook, Jr., Turner St. Paul, Jr. So a lot of their talent.
Brandon. You're on fire tonight. You've been doing a lot of studying, and I've noticed it. I mean, you're on fire, man.
Thank you, Jake. I appreciate the kind words.
So here's Fitzsimmons now back to pass. A little bit of pressure. He's going to roll out. Fires to the end zone. David Van Hook is just short. Maybe a yard. But it's going to be first and goal for the Patriots nonetheless. Just under 3 minutes here to play.
Yeah, David Van Hook's had a few good catches in this one as Wayne Hills goes quick here.
Fitzsimmons, the handoff. No, he's passing. Incomplete. Interesting play call there for the Patriots.
Yeah, batted down at the line of scrimmage, as that is just what Old Japan's done all night. They've been able to just get in the way of passes, and even though the pass rush has only have one sack so far, they have definitely made their presence known in this one, forcing Fitzsimmons and Wolf to move on the run constantly, almost every drop back.
From the 2-yard line, Fitzsimmons, the handoff. Zaharski rolls into the end zone and makes this score a little bit more respectable. 47-27 now.
And they cut the lead to 20 with that touchdown there. Obviously not the deficit they were hoping for, but nevertheless, a pretty decent offensive drive there for Wayne Hills. And hopefully, like we said, they can carry that into next week and especially into the playoffs now. Unfortunately, their second loss, how will that impact them, Mike?
And although at times this offense have seemed unproductive, stale, all those adjectives could describe it, they have scored, and pending the extra point, 27 or 28 points, which is only 3 less than their total load for the season. If 28 points is your lowest points total for the season, that means you have a pretty good offense. As Matt May knocks to the extra point, he's a sure kick.
Yeah, thank you, Brand. I didn't know you were going by Mike tonight, but nevertheless, great calls tonight. I mean, unfortunately, Wayne Hills, it seems like 19 has been the number this entire game. They were down by 19, I believe, going into half and out of halftime, obviously. And there have been a lot of drives where Old Tappan has scored, Wayne Hills has scored again. But obviously, when you go down by that much in the first half, there's really no coming back. I mean, talk about it, Brandon.
Yeah, they've gone touchdown for touchdown in this one in this second half so far. They've scored 14. Old Tappan scored 14 points, and so in Wayne Hills. So the second half has really not been the lopsided part. It's been the first half which really built such a deficit that they can't come back from. And, just going into the game, you got to wonder if they saw what the score is halftime differently. You got to wonder if they would have just chosen to defer at the beginning, as getting the ball right after halftime for Old Tappan definitely boosted. I'm not saying there would have been a comeback otherwise, but it definitely helped their chances.
So here's Wayne Hills now. 2.5 minutes here to play here in this game. They're going to be giving the ball back to Old Tappan. And Old Tappan will probably just be looking to run this clock out, since by common misbelief there is no 2-minute warning in high school football.
Yeah, Zaharski getting his first touchdown of the game, and he's been surefire in almost every game for these Wayne Hills Patriots. The running back duo between him and Evan Rapport, we have discussed extensively, but I can't talk enough about it. And while they have been locked down for the majority of this game, it's time for them to finally get some points on the board.
So May will try a little bit of an onside kick there, and Old Tappan's just going to fall on it. They're going to have the ball at the 40-yard line, 2.5 minutes here to play. And Old Tappan will probably just let this clock expire.
Yeah, I got to imagine Old Tappan will just try to run the clock out right here, still keeping their starters in, indicating that they're not going to try to put him back and try to put together a drive. So actually they do have a backup running back in, so we'll see if they try to feed him the ball and mainly just run down the clock to a night victory.
Yeah, so here's Old Tappan taking their sweet time here. Masili in the backfield. Masili takes the snap, hands it off. Has the sideline. Old Tappan picking up almost nearly a first down there. Gets a gain of about 8, and it's going to bring up second down. Steps out of bounds and stops the clock there. So just prolonging this game here as much as possible. Excuse me, they're continuing to run the clock, I believe. Just letting the clock run a little bit here, since this game is pretty much as good as over, as we are just inside the 2-minute mark. Second and 3 now for Old Tappan. Masili hands it off and powering through, and that will move the chains for Old Tappan. Golden Knights continuing their assault downfield now with just a minute and a half to go here in this game.
Right now, Old Tappan just trying to run the clock, and they are doing so successfully. And, you know, Wayne Hill's defense, they've had a lot of concerns tonight, especially stopping that running game, you know, being able to hold them on second and third down. And you got to imagine they'll work on that a lot in practice this week, as this one is over as Old Tappan takes a knee.
Yeah, so Old Tappan taking the knee there, and I believe that will be, they will have one more play left to run as this time expires. If you're Wayne Hills, you know, you have to kind of take this game with a grain of salt. It's only one game. You know, you're on the road. You know, it's a tough environment. They're a great team. You have some bright spots here to look at. When you go watch the film, there are some things that you can look at and see that you did well. This is definitely a game that they shouldn't dwell on too much. They have Millburn, a bounce-back game, and they will continue to have games in the postseason that are winnable. Wayne Hills is not entirely out of the running for a state title.
Yeah, as the final countdown occurs on this game, it's just been all Old Tappan tonight. But next week, they have Wayne Hills has Millburn, so they've just got to reset and get ready for the following week.
Well, that about wraps it up once again. Tonight's final score is 47 Old Tappan, 28 Wayne Hills. We will see you next week as Patriots return to take on the Millers of Millburn. So on behalf of the entire Wayne Hills TV crew, good night, and we will see you next week